Hey guys, there we are. Looks like we're live. Give this a try here. So we're out here on the ground. The March on Nevada Southern. It went good today, of course. As always, it should have been 10 times bigger. There should have been 10 times more people. But spread the message. Look, when we stand, it has an effect. And so share and spread this. I'm kind of sunburned, so like it's not that. Well, I'm not even gonna go there. It looks weird. It looks weird. What do we want, Lindsay? Freedom. When do we want it? Now. So, it looks like they took down my video from the march earlier. Hey, Paul. Thanks, guys. Looks like they took down my video from the march earlier because there's music playing. And they say, oh, there's music playing, so it's copyrighted, right? Now, copyright is actually one of the few constitutional things, but it's getting ridiculous because the fact that music's playing in the background is completely fair use. But that's a different matter. I will try and post the video from the march later. I'll try and cut out the parts that have the music in them or something. I don't know. It's stupid. But I'll try and repost that video to YouTube or something so we can share it, because Facebook took it down because there was music playing. So we had the horses, we had Tyson out here, we had a bunch of the Bundys. In fact, some of the Bundys are here now. And the prisoners all got visits today, so that was really good. It's kind of dying down now. I mean, we're kind of toward the wrap up, starting to do cleanups and things like that. And overall, you know, of course, as always, there's a few people hating and hostile and things like that. But overall, everything went really well today, and the message is good. We're probably going to be out here, guys. We're not going to keep this going forever because the message has been sent, right? I look terrible. I'm sorry. I have like sunscreen on, and so I'm gonna actually stay in the shadow here. But the prison, of course, is all riled up about us being out here. It's been what? It's been like probably like 3 weeks now. Hey guys, see you. Kelly did a phenomenal job. Kelly's been catching tons of flack, and it's absolutely crazy. People should be loving on Kelly for all the hard work she's doing. She works harder than just about anybody. You know, John did a great job, and there's lots of good people out here, right? But this would not have happened except for Kelly. And so if you're not giving Kelly props, then you need to check yourself. But it's been great. We had horses out there today, and marched around. If you saw the live stream from earlier, you know, it was pretty emotional for people out there, and we prayed to tear down those walls. We came back here. We had a good barbecue. Neil and made the burgers, and we had homemade chili and apple cobbler from Salem, and just lots of people helping in the background. I'll just walk around camp a little bit here. People are just kind of winding down. Hey guys, and there's Lisa. I'm live. Do you have anything to say? Do you want it pointed at you? You look fine. Say hello.
Hello. Just thanks to everybody that's come out here and supported. And
did you get to see Ammon?
No,
you just got in, didn't you? They wouldn't let you?
No, they said if it wasn't during business hours, then I was
Brother, of course.
I was
But
like, it's an hour later. They're like, sorry,
you can't do it, but they have time to come over here and lurk behind the hill and like peek over the hill like little bunnies. Like, oh, what are you guys doing? They've been doing that all afternoon. Tyson brought the horses out, and there's been Ammon's been in solitary how long now? After the beating, this was like 3 weeks ago, right?
Try not to count.
Yeah, I know.
But they're saying that he's not going to be allowed out until June 6th.
Of solitary? Okay.
So you get the shower treatment, and then you get Ryan's supposed to be out in 2 days of solitary, and then you also get longer time because of that.
It's absolute torture. It's ridiculous.
Well, I'm breaking policy. That's what they keep telling me, is I'm breaking policy.
Breaking policy, yeah. Law has nothing to do with it. It's all about policy.
Yeah.
And they're not even really letting him call out to speak of either. They're restricting his calls, and it's...
Solitary's restricted and calls are restricted, and that affects them.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. So...
But I'm grateful for everyone that's here, and...
We try. We just got to keep pushing, and God's going to have to do the rest. So, yeah.
Let me say one more thing, Gavin. Come in here, Tyson. Tyson and I were just talking about how Satan is trying to fight against all the good that's happening.
Right.
And we were just talking about our experiences, and we'll keep them to ourselves. But we both have had experiences about how hard it was to get out here.
Right.
I was feeling extreme anxiety. I was sick this morning, and it just hit me, and I couldn't get out of the house, and
Right.
there's so many obstacles, and I almost missed my flight, and just all these things. And then Tyson had his own experience, but it's interesting how God works. So I immediately said a prayer, and you know me, prayer and God, but and immediately I felt the Spirit remind me that anxiety, depression, stress, anything negative comes from the adversary. And so it was immediately gone after I started praying. So it was great.
Right.
So
We just got to keep.
if you're feeling that, you just got to keep pushing forward, pressing forward, because
Well, and people are under attack, you know, always. Like, you know, there's attack and things breaking. There's attack and people trying to demoralize us when we do good. And it's just constant. And you just got to set aside the negativity and power forward. And, I mean, I was on the way down here with Kelly. Kelly's transmission went out. And then, so we literally pulled into the First Amendment area just outside the Bundy Ranch. And, like, okay, we're stopping. It was like 11 o'clock at night. And I pulled the trailer into the parking lot, and I was backing around, and all of a sudden it went clunk, and the trailer literally fell off the truck. It was just the tongue of the trailer was laying on the ground. And so it was just one thing after another on this trip. But we keep plugging away, and I guess we're going to have to seek some guidance on what to do. This is ridiculous, the solitary, all this stuff. I just don't have. I wish I had a simple answer, but we're just going to keep pressing forward. So, yeah. All right. Thanks, Lisa. You heading out, man?
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for being here. Thanks for all the help. Yeah.
I'll be around. I'm sure I'll be the next round.
Yeah. Do you have anything to add here? Keep standing, guys. All right, cool. Anything to say, Carol? We're on the live stream. Good?
Not to add to what they said.
It was good. Yeah, you bet. So yeah, it's kind of a mess here, but tons of good food. A bunch of homemade apple cobbler. If you had been here, hang on, let me turn this around. If you guys were here, how are we doing? There's tons of apple cobbler, huge pots of homemade chili. We had a great barbecue, and so you really missed out on that. I mean, it's not about the food, but hey, Jesus fed people, right? So it's a good thing to get people out. Take you over here. They actually built another torture chamber, and so we'll take a look at these. This is the size of the cell that they put Ammon in there, and except for in his case, it was a shower. It's terrible. Go watch the videos on that, but let me get back here a little bit. So there's two of these side by side. Now, actually, this is a great message. Unfortunately, you know, the community is supportive. There's a lot of people in the community telling their stories about the abuse here. But of course, as always, people are not as engaged as it should be because it's hard, right? They're afraid, but we have to get beyond that. We have to get past that. We have to start calling the evil what it is, setting aside our faction. And just some great signs, though. This one was made by Jared. He had to go home, but he did a ton of great work out here. This sign, we made this sign for the guards that are always sneaking by and the bus drivers, because we need to love them enough to tell them what they are. What they do is not okay. What our police are doing is not okay. And it's not about negativity. It's not about hate. It's about caring enough for people to say that's wrong. That's not okay. The abuse of your fellow man is not okay. And so we're winding down. Man, I hate being in the sun right now. Look at this. I look like some kind of an Oompa Loompa. So let's not even. I keep bringing that up. Now they're gonna like. If I didn't mention it, right? If you don't call attention to it, nobody notices, right? Well, okay. It's hard not to notice this. We've been out here all day. It's been a crazy day. Here's the food tent back behind me here, and Neil did lots of good work. We're live streaming, so don't say anything too crazy. But Neil got tons of burgers out. How many burgers did we make today?
Oh yeah, I mean, what, 60?
Yeah, it was good stuff. It was good stuff. So, anyways, guys, I will wrap this up here. And if getting in there would raise money, I actually did volunteer to get in there. The problem is that was going on for a week or so ago. It was actually Jared's idea, and then BJ and John really kind of helped put it together. And if we could raise some more money going in there and it would be effective, we'd certainly get in there. And I don't know yet whether I will or not. It hasn't been real active the past couple days because the surge, right? That initial surge of the fundraising. But it raised like $23,000. I mean, it did really good in terms of getting some support, because the attorney, Ammon's attorney, is going to have to be down here for months for this trial along with his team. And so it sounds like a lot of money, but they got to have housing, they got to have their team, they got to be able to file all the motions. It's just insane, guys. Our court system is not law, it's not justice. All these guys in these prison, they're all to be assumed innocent at this point, because none of them, and I mean none of them in our courts, were given due process. And sometimes that shocks people when I say that. But if you read the Constitution, if you realize that the evidence, you're allowed to present evidence, you're allowed to have a counsel of your choice, you're allowed to speak on your behalf, right? And yet in our courts, the judge tells you, no, you can't have that witness. No, you can't have that evidence. And so there's no due process. Once due process has been violated, innocence must still be assumed, because you haven't been given a trial by jury that is lawful. And so we got to remember this. You know, we see people accused sometimes of heinous crimes, but you don't even most of the time really know what they did. And yeah, we've got to ignore the people that are hating and trolling and undermining. There's a lot of people, and usually what it comes back to is we get these people trying to undermine the message. You get people trying to undermine the message. And what happens is people don't like it that you're speaking out. People don't like it that you're saying, oh, the prison guards, what they do is not okay, right? The abuse is not okay. The police, what they do is not okay, because we love them enough to call them out. And so what happens is people start pointing fingers and saying, oh, you don't support the police or this or that. But you must, to love liberty, to love the Constitution, you must call out the police. To love your neighbor, if your son or your daughter, right, is a heroin addict, you don't love them by saying, oh, thank you for doing that, you're doing so amazing, right? You love them by helping them, by speaking out, and by telling them, admonishing them, and especially with our public officials even more so. These guys know what they're doing. They choose to be tyrants. They choose to be wicked. And it's very important that in a society of tyranny that we tell them, that we speak out, that we use our voice. We're live streaming. You got anything to say, Bertrand? Bertrand did photos today, which was great because I didn't really have time. We had the truck set up, cranking out the sound there. And we had the whole PA system, so we got out behind the prison. The guys were in the yard. We actually got a few of the prisoners on the mic, so they called in, and we put them over the PA system so they could speak to people. Shelby, good job, Shelby. Let's see, what's Shelby saying? 1,000 for the John against Kelly challenge. If Gav gets in now, I'll pledge it immediately. Let's see, 5 hours. I don't know, honestly, guys. I don't know if I could do 5 hours. Most of the people, and it's hot out here. People have been struggling in the heat out here, and I'm perfectly willing to get in there. I hate being in a cage, but I am willing to get in there. But it would have to be. I'm not going to guarantee how long I can stay in there. I really am not. And so if I go in there part of my problem is if I go in there and I don't beat everybody else's record, right? They'll say, oh, Gavin's a weenie. But then again, we ignore the trolls. It doesn't matter. So I'll tell you what. If I can get $500 in pledges, I will go in the torture chamber and put out a good effort in there. But I probably will not stay in there for 5 hours. And Ammon had to stay in there for 13. And to me, it's humbling. It's important to realize the fact that even strong, trained, fit men are getting in there and making it 4 hours, 5 hours even on the high side. And you know what? It's really sobering to think that they do that to people for 13 hours. They were threatening Ammon with 72 hours, okay? So if I get 5 people saying, Shelby says 200 an hour. If I get 5 people for the pledging to give at least $100 an hour, or for an hour, like I'm not going to say you have to give $100 an hour indefinitely, but at least $100, then I will do it. So comment on here, and if I see 5 of you saying I'm in for 100, I'm in for 100. And that's the thing, I'm not going to go in there as much as I'd like to show that I'm strong and be in there as long as Ammon was. I'm not going to give myself heat stroke and make it so I can't continue the message and continue helping people from out here. So I'll check back on these comments, and if there's 5 of you that pledge $100 to Ammon's legal defense, I will get in that torture chamber in the next couple days before we head out, because we're probably going to wrap up here around Friday. And you know, there's been some great fundraising. Regardless of all this, there's been phenomenal fundraising out here, and so that's good. There's a positive message, and we'll do what we can. And yeah, I mean, I know there's not a lot of money, and you know, I guess I could stand in there and teach on due process for an hour if I could stay standing. But I've been in handcuffs before. I don't particularly enjoy it. But I will check back on the comments. We got a few people pledging in there, so we'll work something out here, because we're going to be here a couple more days yet. We got to fix Kelly's car, and Lindsay, that's a good idea. I don't want to make a show of it, right? If you're in there to show people suffering, then and what it's like, I don't want to be like a ham about it or anything. But 2 more. All right, 2 more. So we got 300. You can. But if you pledge it, you got to give it. You got to give at least 100 if you pledge it. You know, if I do it. So you got to pledge to do that, and it has to be worth it, because there's lots of things that I can do for the cause, and I really, really, really don't like being in cages. So we're out here in Pahrump, Nevada, outside the prison. We'll be here for a few more days. I will talk to the team. We'll see what's going to happen with the torture chambers and all that kind of stuff. Ammon is still in solitary. They're saying he's going to stay there till June, you guys. They're restricting his phone calls. We need to keep pressing the prison. So it looks like we may have. Okay, it looks like I appreciate it, guys. I'll split the 1,500 for you and 500 for Kelly. Okay, I will talk to Kelly too, and we'll get on this. And we'll see what we can do. I'm going to check and see. That's 400, it looks like, at least. Now, but I expect a little extra if I can do hours, right? But we'll see how the weather does too. It really was hot. It really was hot. Is it 600? I know. June. It's just crazy. So, I will talk to the team. We'll see about getting in there, and we'll try and keep the message going, guys. All right, I'm gonna let you go. And don't get badgered into this. No, you know, I volunteered a long time ago to do it, but I'm not going to kill myself doing it, right? I mean, I'm not going to try and prove that I'm a man and be in there for 20 hours and give myself heat stroke. I'm just not going to do that. And I'm probably not going to do it for 5 either, you know, but I expect the pledge if I do it for an hour. Like, that's the pledge too. So I think the message is showing solidarity with those that are suffering. It's getting out there. It's using our voice. It's using our actions. And it's showing our humility. And you guys have a good night. We're going to keep it going here, and I'm sure it's going to kind of be winding down, because unfortunately all of America is not showing up out here, and I know it's hard for people. I know it's tough for people to get out. I know money's tight, and the world's hard right now. But no, you know, I'm not going to stress about it. I can do it fine. You know, God's my shield. But it's well, I don't know if I should say that. I might stress a little, but I can handle it. I genuinely don't like being in a cage. But if we can raise $500, you know, I'm down for that. I'm down for that. And yeah, I mean, there's no rule about when you have to do it. But usually you're in there without water, and so they try and put it so you're facing the shade, you know. And but we'll try and do a few fundraisers here. I would hope that if we did it, or if me and Kelly both did it, we could get a few $1,000s in there at least. And we'll see how it goes in the next few days. And just kind of get over today and get things settled down and see how it goes. So you guys keep it up, keep us in your prayers, speak out. What we really need is God defending and guarding us and tearing down these walls. But we'll talk soon. And one thing, I got to shout out to my wife, and because she's doing great, and I don't think she's 37 weeks pregnant, Fawn, but you're 37 is very close. I'm forgetting my numbers. You probably wouldn't want to be out here. I think she's 30. How many weeks is full term? I should know that, right? I mean, I study herbalism and stuff, but we get a midwife. I don't deliver my own babies. I'm not that intense, but yeah, Sandra's 32 weeks or something like that. So she's got 8 weeks left. She's got 8 weeks left, and she's a trooper. I do have the generator running for her with the air conditioning in the trailer so she can stay cool. But, hey, I'm going to let you guys go for now. We'll talk soon. I'll try and get the video from the march. Yeah, so 37 is very close. Good choice, Fawn. I lost my train of thought. This is going way too long. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Oh, I said I'll try and get the video from the march earlier, because there was some powerful moments there. And I'll try and just cut out the music or something so they don't banish me from the internet. All right, guys. Catch you later. Check the YouTube channel, too. Sometimes I post different videos over there. YouTube.com/Gavin Seim will get you there. Make sure you're subbed over there, because sometimes I do videos here, sometimes I do there, and sometimes they're in both places. That's how it works. All right. Talk soon. Bye-bye.